Welcome back, you beautiful souls. This is going to be part 4 to What If Deku Was a Quirkless Female. And in the comments, I had a few people that wanted me to give Izuka one for all. And I'm going to spend a little bit explaining why I'm not going to be doing that. Because the way I've set this up and how I'm doing the story, if Izuka gets one for all, she basically would lose her Curry family's traits until the embers of one for all leave her body after she has passed it on. So basically, if she ever goes to do like release, it would pretty much kill her because she wouldn't have like the endorphins and all the special endorphins and stuff pumping through her body. Like her body would stop producing them. And the other way is she wouldn't be able to use both of them in tandem with each other. She would either have to use one for all or the Curry family's release. And this story is about Izuka being quirkless, becoming like one of the first becoming a quirkless hero. So that being said, let's get back into the story. And I know it's going to arc people off, but that's just how it's going to be. Because I have been thinking about it, and no, Bakugo also isn't going to be getting one for all because he's through the interactions at the gym and like consequently the next few months he's going to be wanting to beat Izuka with his own power. So where we last left off the story, Izuka and Katsuki had left the gym, and Izuka's like been kind of moping on the way to like the shop, and Katsuki finally like grabs her and it's like, look, it's about your scar, right? It's why you don't go all out. What exactly happened? And Izuka's like, I, Katsuki, I don't want you to be scared of me. It's something that even Mom doesn't know about, and if she found out, I could probably never see Grandpa again, and and Izuka's like starts crying, and Katsuki kind of like grabs her and he's like, Izuka, like I promise I won't tell anyone. And I have a feeling that if I do, I would make a mortal enemy of you. And Izuka kind of pushes him away and he's like, it's not that, Katsuki. You won't understand. And she like starts running, and then Katsuki grabs her arm and he's like, look, I'm sorry I picked on you, and I really am sorry, and what I just saw you do, you're pretty strong, and I'm gonna want to rematch with you one day, and I'm gonna go all out, and if you don't go all out, I won't forgive you. Now tell me what's going on, because ever since like you seem worried about mentioning what happened and how you got that scar. And then Izuku basically falls like to like the ground, like crying. It's like it's Hatsuki. I can't say, but and Katsuki basically sits down next to her and he's like, Izuka, doesn't matter what it is. I've done some terrible things, and most of them have been to you. And I've got to live with that. And whatever it is, you're gonna have to learn to live with it. And if you really can't tell me, just tell me this. Are you okay? Because you got really defensive over that. and she like wipes her tears and she looks at Katsuki and she's like, no, it isn't that. Just promise me if you find out, you're not gonna, you won't tell, you definitely won't tell mom and you won't think differently of me. And Katsuki like basically like kind of nudges her shoulder and says, we're friends, like you, and you're, we're friends, right? And we've known each other basically your whole lives, albeit there's like 8 years of our life that we didn't really hang out or talk, but I'm here now, and if you need someone to talk to, I won't spread things. And Izuku's like, fine, but seriously, like, when people find out about this, I don't think I would be able to become a hero if people knew this. And Katsu's like, well, what did you do? And she basically pulls up her shirt, basically running her hand over the scar, and it's like, well, when I got this, like, mom thinks it was a training accident and I fell down a ledge, and that's not the true story. One day when I was in the mountains with Grandpa and we got attacked. So Izuka is like in tears and she basically goes, Kanchan, I really don't want to lose you as a friend if you find out about this. And Katsuki basically puts his arm on her shoulder and he's like, I don't know how many times I've got to tell you this, nerd, but doesn't matter. And if it, and like what? You kill someone? And Izuka looks down and Katsuki's like, so you've killed someone? And Izuka is like, yeah, but it. And then Katsuki like says, so they're the one that gave you that. And Izuku like shakes her head like saying yes. And then they attacked us while we were in the mountains, and Grandpa he got really hurt too, and he did save me, but one person got to me and I had to defend myself, and as I was like kicking them to like get away, they slashed me with a sword and I ended up getting twisted and I hit their head and they fell and there was blood all over the place, like their head was like caved in, and Izuku like starts crying again, and at this point Katsuki's like thinking like, holy, like, what, oh my fucking lord. And he basically hugs her and is like, it's okay, Izuku, like you can be a hero, like you're crazy strong and like you're a really good martial artist, and don't worry about that, like you had to defend yourself, and sometimes like you've got, if it came down to like you or them, I'm glad it was them, like otherwise I would have lost one of my good friends. And so Izuka like looks up at him and is like, you're really not scared about it? And Katsuki's like, I'm a little worried, but I understand now why you held back. It is, you're scared to like hurt someone that bad again, aren't you? And Izuka's like, yeah, I don't want to hurt people. I want to protect people. But and Izuku's like, I can't tell you about that, but please don't tell mom, because I I still want to be able to see Grandpa. And Katsu's like, I promise. Like, and he stands up, grabs her, and like kind of helps her up, and then he grabs her hand, and he's like, I promise, Izuku, I won't tell anyone. And if you don't feel like talking about it, I won't bring the subject up again. But just let you know, I'm gonna be training my butt off so that one day I can beat you with my own power, because what I've seen you do, it's like it's pretty much like you have a quirk, but you don't. It's like, so all the training and stuff that you went through, and then like that, maybe one day you should probably talk to your mom about it, because you seem distraught over it. And Izuku like brushes her tears, and she's like, I'm fine, it's just. And she basically like grabs Katsuki and hugs him, and Katsuki like pushes her away. He's like, what are you doing, nerd? And Izuku's like, thank you, Katsuki, just thank you. You're the first person that I've told this, and well, you're like the second person I've told this, and first person kind of like blew me off and called me a monster. And Katsuki kind of smiles a little bit, and he's like, well, he's not entirely wrong, but you're not a bad person, Izuka. You obviously, like, if you didn't feel any remorse over it, then I would be worried, and I'd probably not talk to you, but you obviously don't, you're obviously not like that. And Izuku, like, kind of smiles, and Katsu's like, okay, enough with the sappy stuff. Let's go get something to eat, because you're probably hungry. And at this point, Izuka's stomach growls, and they start laughing, and so they go get something to eat, and they go off. They head back home, and when Izuka gets home, Inko, like, sees her smiling and laughing, and Inko's like, what happened, sweetie? And Izuka says, well, me and Kachan, we're in a good spot, Mom. Like, we're really good friends. It seems like time hasn't really passed, and we basically explain the hardships and stuff that we went through. And Nico's thinking in the background of her head, he's like, oh dear. And so we cut to a few weeks later, and Izuka is enrolled at the school with Katsuki, and and this is after Katsuki and Izuka have hung out, and they've sparred, and Katsuki is beginning to light up and be less of a dick towards Izuka. Like, not so much being jerkish, because in his mind, he's like, okay, I definitely got to get strong enough to where she doesn't have to fight. I have to be strong enough to be able to, like, protect, like, my friend. Because at this point, they are on the cusp of being, like, best friends. So, that being said, like, we cut to the first day of school, and Izuka, like, comes into class, and she sits down, and everyone's kind of looking at her, because they're sitting here and seeing this girl, and a lot of the guys are thinking, like, oh, she's kind of cute, and some of the guys, like, start hitting on her, and she basically looks up at him, and she says, piss off, losers. And Izuka is like, because she remembers some of them and what they did, what they did to her. And one of them goes to say, "What did you say, bit?" And right at the moment before he could get the whole word out, Izuka just kind of flips over and like kicks him and like sends him flying back. And so yeah, and so Katsuki walks up in the middle of this interaction, and Katsuki says like, ha. Katsuki's like kind of laughs and chuckles like, "Ha, loser! Do you not realize who this is? Do you?" And everyone's like, and Izuka's like, "Oh, Kachan, you're here. I didn't think we would be in the same class." And Kachan's like, "Well, that's kind of funny. Like, I didn't think we'd be in the same class too." And everyone's like, everyone's like, "Wait, you guys know each other?" And then, like Katsuki says, like pointing at the guy, and he's like, "Deku, you damn nerd. Could you have gone easier on him?" Pointing at the guy, and but then he says, "But he kind of had it coming. He shouldn't have started calling you that word." And the guy is bleeding from like his lip, and Izuka's like says, "Oh crap! I thought I held back enough." And and she's a little bit flustered, like with a flustered, annoyed voice. And everyone is thinking, like, what the fuck? That's her holding back. And then one of the girls pipes up and she's like, "Wait, you're Izuka?" Says the girl, and Izuka blinks, showing like her highs. And a few of the people who knew Izuka back in like those days when they were younger kind of think it's like, "Oh my god, it really is you." Like, what? And then the girl like looks at her, like a lot of the kids are like scared of her now. And then the one girl's like, "Izuka, like, so where have you been? What's going on?" And then Izuka's like looking at her and looking at her, and she's like, "Oh, I remember you. You're one of the kids that didn't pick on me." As she's looking over at the dude that's like getting up, wiping his lip, and he's like, "You." And this is when Katsuki like creates like explosion in his hands, like, "Dude, sit down." And like just glaring at him, and the dude like just like, "Fucking damn, fucking Deku." And the other girl was like, "So like you've changed quite a bit." And Izuka's like, "Yeah, like I went through some things, and honestly, I don't really like people that think they're hot, that think they're better than everyone else because they have what, quote unquote, a powerful quirk." And she's like, "Look at what I just did. That's pure training. I did that just by training my butt off. And I don't take kindly to you jerks like picking on me." And she's glaring at the classroom because she's been sitting there looking at people, just looking at them and basically remembering like all the crap that they did to her. And so a lot of the kids that are in this class were in the same class that they were in the same kindergarten, and the same kindergarten classes and stuff that she was in. And she tells the girl, well, it was nice seeing you. It was nice seeing you, but pretty sure I'm going to have to go to the office. And the teacher's like has like saw this whole thing going on, and she looks at the list, and or he looks at the list, and he like looks down, and he's like, oh my god, I've got another one in the class. Midoriya, Bakugo, and he calls off the other two students' names. It's like, to the principal's office. And Katsuki is like, what did I do? I didn't do anything wrong. And he looks at him and is like, you used your quirk in class and you were going to fight. Go to the office or you're going to be in more trouble than you already are. And do we have to have a repeat of last time, Bakugo? And Bakugo's like, no, sir. And he basically grabs like Izuka's like hand, and he's like pulling her. He's like, damn nerd, you got us in trouble. You can't be doing that here. And Izuka's kind of chuckling at this, and some of the other kids in class are like, are they dating? What? And then the girl that didn't really pick on Izuka basically says, well, if you guys remember, like, they grew up with each other. They're basically siblings, right? And then all the other kids like, yeah, that's right. And well, with Katsuki, with Bakugo's personality, sorry about that. With Bakugo's personality, they really, like, it makes sense that she'd be like that too. And so they go to the principal's office, and the principal's looking down at the write up and everything, and he's like, Bakugo, you're back here again. What did you do this time? And Kanchi's like, I didn't do anything. Sir. I was actually trying to stop them from them getting into a fight with the new kid. And the principal's like eyes kind of wide, and it's like, oh, so you've turned over a new leaf. Well, you did use your quirk in class, and you are going to get some punishment for that. And then he looks at the other two boys and is like, so what's your side of the story? And they basically explain theirs, and then Izuku's like says, that's bullshit. Like, that's bull crap. They afterward they were harassing me, and then like they went to call me a name, and I don't know what to tell you, principal. Kind of snapped because like when I was younger, they picked on me really hard, and I'm just not gonna take the crap anymore. So if you're gonna expel me, expel me. If not, I'd like to get back to class. I don't even want to be here anyway. My mom's like wants me to do this. I'd rather be training. And the principal was like, oh my god, Midoriya. Ooh, I've got another Bakugo on my hands. And the principal's just thinking, one more year, and like they won't be in my head. They will be out of my hands. So he tells them, he's like, he looks at the other two boys, he's like, so, it's a he say, she said thing. Apologize. You two apologize to her, and he turns to Izuka and he's like, young lady, you apologize to them too. And if this happens again, you guys are gonna get a week suspension. And so, like, they apologize, and Izuku's like, I'm sorry for beating you up. I'm sorry for splitting your lip open. And the other guy, like, and she basically blinked her eyes and like showed her eyes, like her special curry family eyes, which kind of scares them, and they're like, "We're sorry, we won't do it again." And so like that ends, and like the end of the day like comes, and they leave, and so they had learned, like one of the guys asked Bakugo's like, so you and Midoriya, you guys dating? And Bakugo's like, shut up, nerd, she's just a friend. And so that's 8 minutes. So with this one being 8 minutes, that brings this up to about a 26-minute video. In the next episode, I'm going to be doing the start of the anime combined with towards the end of the next episode with Izuka and Bakugo meet with Izuka and Katsuki meeting two other people that are going to be going to UA. Just in passing. They're not really going to like hang out. But something is going to catch Izuka's eyes, like attention with the appearance of one of the other people. So that being said, thank you guys so much for all of the new subs and all the comments and the words of encouragement. Again, I apologize if you want to unsub because I'm not going to give Izuka one for all, but it really would interfere with the Curry family's like endorphin production and their ability to like release, because it would just be too much strain on the body. Like you won't be able to do it in tandem with one for all. Basically, what Izuku, like what Deku does in canon, breaking his bones and stuff, that would be like a guaranteed, and like so like she wouldn't be able to do that. But how I'm setting it up is like quirks and the Curry family's traits don't really mesh well together. And after all, this is like the name of the series is What If Deku was a quirkless female? So like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And I will see you beautiful souls in the next video.